right, welcome back. I believe we're live now. It took me a little bit to figure that out. It's been a while since I've done it from the computer, so yeah, we'll see if anyone joins here in a second. And basically with this one, what I was thinking I could do is you could send me your app or your landing page, and I can give you kind of my initial feedback or my first impressions on it, which I think can be useful because when you start to work on something, especially if you're by yourself, you get a little bit stuck into one thought pattern of it, and you could miss out on some obvious things, or maybe there's some, yeah, feedback is always good. So if anyone who joins wants to get feedback from their project, go ahead and send me the link, and I will go ahead and do that. Yeah. So hello. First one here. Yeah, I was just saying if you have a project that you want feedback on in this stream, I'm thinking I could just go through a couple projects and give some feedback. I maybe will start with mine here while I'm waiting for someone to post one in, and yeah, I guess I'll go over a couple of the decisions I made with this landing page here for the mobile app I have. First off, this has been iterated a couple times, and I did make a few videos about it, but a couple things that I added later, which I think are kind of cool, are this QR code, which I saw on a couple other sites, and I think it's a really good idea for a mobile app. Mainly because if you view a mobile app landing page on the desktop, and especially if that app isn't available on the desktop, then you're forced to like copy the URL and then go open it up on your phone to download it. But with this, you can just directly download it on your phone just by scanning that. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to have. Let's see. I'm getting an error over here. Maybe we're good. If there issues on the stream, it's saying that the resolution needs to be changed. So let's see. Yeah, hard to say. I feel like the stream is probably fine, so I'm just gonna keep going. But if there's issues, let me know. I'm trying. Yeah, I did a few of these live streams with the mobile version, and that was easy. You just open up your phone and start streaming. But with these reviews, it would be nice to have obviously the screen to show. So yeah, again, if anyone who is joining wants me to review their landing page or app, go ahead and drop a link and I will check it out. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll just keep talking about the landing page that I built here. And by no means is this complete, and I don't think it's even necessarily the best, but there are some things in it that I think are pretty good. I just yesterday changed this header here. It used to say "have deeper conversations," and I got some feedback from people that was basically confusing and generic, and it didn't really make sense. So the monetization video. Yeah, if you have any questions as well, we can do like a Q&A style. That's definitely I'm definitely open to that. We don't need to do any kind of reviews. But yeah, this I changed because it has a little bit more hope. I'm hoping this has maybe two things. First, that it can maybe pop on some SEO keywords with private podcasts, and then secondly, I feel like it gives you a little bit more of an obvious description of closer to what the app does versus have deeper conversations. Now it's private podcasts with friends. You kind of immediately know in your mind that kind of immediately you have a vision of what that would mean. It would mean you're going to record some audio and share it with your friends, and it's going to be private. Whereas, yeah, have deeper conversations, you don't even know what that means. You don't know if you're going to be texting, video, in person, any of that. The link didn't get sent. Yes. Maybe it's maybe there's like a setting that doesn't allow the links. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I'll go for the search. Let's see. It doesn't seem like it's popping up in one of the first results. But maybe I should search in the App Store. Although the App Store is not great. They don't really have a great search on mobile. Possibly Play Store. Did you, and you tried sending the link in the chat, but it's just not coming through. Yeah, I feel like it's not going to come up. Maybe it does Google Play. Have a search here. Probably possibly this one. Yeah, maybe. I'm guessing there's like a setting probably that I would need to change to allow links to be sent, but I'm guessing this is it. Cool. So, yeah, my first impressions are that it's an app that will help you stretch daily. So that is probably, I'm guessing that's what it is, which is good. I think it's good to be able to understand what the app is immediately. Let's go through some of these pictures. This, I guess makes more sense when you're looking at all three of them together. I'm not sure you really need to have this here unless your name is kind of well known, and that would help people feel something about the app itself. Like if this was like if you had almost like a popular brand and you put it here, like Nike, for example, it'd be like, oh, cool, this is Nike. Then it builds a little bit of trust, but this almost seems like it's just confusing, or like, I don't know what this means, especially if NZ Dev almost means like, it doesn't mean anything to someone who's looking for a stretching app, maybe. These look nice. I feel actually maybe I've seen this app before. This looks familiar to me. So I'm wondering why this looks familiar. Have we talked possibly before, or you sent me a link to it before? Stretch more, live better. Okay, a copy from Bend. So, yeah, with that, it's almost like what is the value of this compared to Bend? Why would anyone build this compared to Bend? So Bend is the main one. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So is there anything? Yeah, I mean, even your language is the same. Stretch more, live better. So it's not. I don't think it's a. I guess I don't really see what the value is having. Why would anyone want to download your app versus the Bend app? Because this is free, I guess. Is that what you're saying? So it's like a free version of Bend. Yeah. Is this your actual app, these screenshots, or are you using screenshots from Bend itself? I'm wondering because these are, I mean, like all of the assets are the same. I guess they're not the same. They're just very similar style. It's from what app though? Like from your app? Like you regenerated all these assets, or you're using? I guess you possibly regenerated these assets, or you regenerate, or you're using them from the Bind app. Yeah, overall, I think it's kind of a. I think it's kind of a. I think doing something like this is good as like a learning kind of. I, I don't mean the UI. I guess what I'm asking is like, are all did you where did you get all these pictures? Where did you get all the image assets? Like this icon, for example. Um, but yeah, I don't think this is a good. I mean, it's a good. I think it's a good learning exercise to copy an app exactly. But yeah, see, so you're if you're copying their assets from Bend, that's almost like that's almost like a step too far. It's a step too far if you're going to deploy the app yourself. So probably my guess is it could get taken down. I mean, the assets like this is like if you didn't create that image and Bend created that image, it's like you're in some way actually just stealing their content. You're stealing their app. You're stealing their idea. You're stealing pretty much everything from their app, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be copying and cloning to that level. I think there's value in cloning to some degree or using something as inspiration, but I mean, there's nothing protecting the assets. That's not necessarily true. I don't know if you're asking me that or if you think that that's true, but it's definitely not necessarily true. Like this is they do own the copyright to this just in the sense that they created it or have basically the rights to it. So yeah, when you create an asset, you have the copyright to it, or the creator has the copyright to it. Now, I doubt they'll really do anything because this isn't. I doubt this will really become like competition to them because I think most people will probably most people will see this and then they will be suspicious of it, to be honest with you, and then they'll I guess what I'm trying to say is there just doesn't seem like any good reason for me to download this app compared to downloading Bend. And it's mainly because it is a almost exact copy of Bend. Whereas you could keep a similar style and use like a similar style and a similar setup, but don't copy it exactly. And then set yourself apart with some sort of unique feature, or and maybe that unique feature is just that you offer all these things for free. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's great to copy to this level. Um so yeah, I mean I'll just leave it there because it's basically like yeah, complaining about the paywall. That definitely makes sense, and like users are going to complain about a paywall every time because people don't want to pay for stuff when I mean people prefer things to be free. But that doesn't mean it's like yeah, that doesn't mean that the paywall isn't valid, and it doesn't mean that you should have. I don't think that that's enough of a reason to build something, to be honest with you, because what is your monetization structure now? How are you going to make money? And maybe you're not. Maybe your plan is to just have a free app that's just always free. But if your goal is to make a business out of it or make money from it, then yeah, I mean putting ads on it. Okay, so it's it's more of the same, I guess. It's not. I don't know. I think yeah, I think you are going to have a difficult time getting this to grow when it's almost an exact copy of an app that's already successful. That's my opinion and my thought, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, I mean, you'll have to let me know how it goes, but that is basically the review. I guess I'll leave the review of that there because it doesn't really seem like there's too much more to review. Um, because I guess the process of it is more, I guess I am reviewing almost like that process of how you got that idea, which I don't know, in my opinion, it doesn't seem great to me. But, but yeah, I mean, there is value, I think, in finding issues that people have in common in the comments of other apps and then using that as a way to build a new app. I think if you test Bend app, you'll find that they promote it as a free app, but then when you open it, you get access to only one exercise after 7 days, and they lock everything. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I guess what I'm like somewhat disagreeing with is you're copying the app almost exactly, and then your only kind of like value, like your only kind of value proposition to someone to download your app is that it's just free, but it's the same as Bend. Whereas I feel like you'd be better off going with a little bit different of a design, a little bit different of a feature set maybe, and then doubling down on that it's actually free. But don't make it look exactly like Bend, because to me that it seems it seems like it might harm you in one way, in that people are going to look at it and be like, oh, this is like a rip off of this other app. And then in another way in another way it kind of is, right? You took their actual images from their app and used them in your app. So yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a gray area there of like, is that even ethical to do? Is that even legal? I'm not sure. um it's not something I would do. It's not something I would recommend. But I I'm not saying not to build a competitor. I guess I'm saying maybe think about how you could differentiate yourself even more, except for just price, and then price would be there as well. Because I think most people will download an app and test it, and then if they like it, they would pay for it. So I mean, I'm sure Bend is making a lot of money. It seems like a successful app, but yeah. Let's see. Is there anyone else who has an app or landing page that they want reviewed? Can go ahead and send a link, and I will check it out. Or let me know what it's called, and I could look it up. And maybe, so yeah, maybe where to go from here while we're waiting. Is the stream working correctly? Because I feel like I'm getting this thing over on this page that's saying that there's like a bit of an error. So I'm not sure if it's cut off, but yeah, planning to create assets after finishing the prototype and got lazy and decided to just go with it for this now. Yeah, cool. Stream is working. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It's definitely not easy to build all that stuff. But then I also like to think of it like, imagine that you were Bend and you built that whole app, created all those assets or paid someone to create all those assets, and then some other developer comes in and just basically steals all your stuff, launches it as another app, says it's free, basically completely undercuts you. And I don't think that's good for app development as a whole. I don't think it's good for like the community, for like the business viability of apps. So yeah, I think there's that as well. And Bend maybe is bigger than an app. Maybe it's like I don't know. It doesn't seem like they are. I suspect they're just like an app company. So so yeah, there's that as well. It doesn't seem like anyone else is adding any other links. So is there anything else that you want to talk about, or any other questions that you have? I think you're the only one in the chat. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything I need to really talk about. So if there's something else you want to discuss, we can do that, or maybe I'll just end this. Because I don't think anyone really watches live streams after they're posted. Like once they're not live. I mean, maybe they do, but it's probably not as much as like watching an actual YouTube video. Maybe, yeah. How long did it take you to build your app? All right, looks like we might have another viewer. Oh, and they're gone. But yeah, well, I think I'll probably, yeah, 3 months, 2 days per week. Yeah, that's pretty fast. It's just 2 days a week. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you get a nice amount of users, or and like how, even more like how you plan to get users and do marketing. Marketing, I think, is super difficult. It's something I'm, yeah, looking more into now myself, and like trying to get better at now myself. But yeah, it's definitely hard. I think it's definitely hard. Yeah, it's hard to, I think, also get the time to like work on something, especially if it's like a side project, and that kind of stuff. One thing I'm finding now is like, I guess with marketing, it's really trying to figure out where the users are. So I don't even have a good answer for this for myself, but the users, yeah, like where are people that want to start stretching, for example? Maybe those are people that run. So maybe you can go into like running communities, or running Reddit feeds, or running Reddit subs, and kind of try to see if, maybe just ask them how they stretch, that kind of stuff, and then maybe get them to try your app out. That could be one way. Yeah, Ben started 2020, so so they're definitely pretty new. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Everyone was at home, so they were able to kind of work with that. Um, but yeah, well, I think I'm just gonna call it here. But yeah, this was good. Hopefully, maybe that was helpful for you a little bit, and I will work on kind of getting more of a plan for the next stream, or maybe get some people to submit their app earlier, and then I can go through them on the stream or something. But yeah, best of luck. I will see you in the next one.